Nesivas Shalom and Yani Purim page Tes Ois Gimel V'Hine Mitayrascha Talamdenu. We're going to learn from the Torah. Ma Yaseh Ha'adam. What should a person do to be saved from the Chevle Yisurei HaHester, from the pain of Hester Panim? Hester Panim is when Hashem is hidden from you. You don't feel like you have an open relationship with Hashem. You don't feel it when you're davening, when you're learning. You don't feel connected. You don't feel He's responding to you. It's not open. It's not clear. It's like a mechitza of barzel, a iron wall is separating you. That's how you feel. So what should you do? How could you be saved from these pains of Yisurim? It's mamash Yisurei HaHester. B'matzav shel Yerida Nefila, in a matzav of lowness after you fall. B'matzav shel Kriris Be'amuna, B'shkia B'taivas Bahamias. When you're feeling a kaltkeit, a coldness in faith in Hashem, and you're immersed in taivas Bahamis, in physical pleasures. Moichai, when your mayach, your brain, is sasum, is closed to ruchnius. V'liba is sagar, and your feelings are closed. You know, sometimes you get daven, and your heartfelt tefillas. You're learning, you're connecting, you have a heart in mitzvahs and Torah, and sometimes it's farmacht. It's closed. Moichai sasum. V'liba is sagar. It's closed. V'kulei heilich v'shaykeh b'shal tachtis. And everything is going, and it's just sinking into lower. Similar to that matzah Megillas Esther, as we said before. That's what happened to Klal Yisrael. Klal Yisrael lost its grip. We lost our connection to Hashem. We fell. We were busy with Gashmis. We were far away from connection of Hashem. We didn't feel Hashem is interested in us. Again, remember, there's a story, external story, that's good for 6-year-olds and 10-year-olds, but every single part of the Megillah is bringing out a different level of what was really the messages. Ki ein la ava aim, Esther had no mother and father, of hu chachma ve'aim is bina. She didn't have a connection. She felt like separated from wisdom and from understanding. Chachma moicha ubina liba, hamoich v'halev segurim. Chachma is in the mind, and Bina is in your heart. And that means, Ein la'ava aim, that Klal Yisrael, the Tzaddikus Esther, did not have a connection to the Mayach and the Lev that were closed up. Uvamoisa v'yavi ima, b'chinas rachme avu, b'chinas rachme eim mesu. The concept of Rachmanis of the father and the mother died. She'ena margish b'HaKadosh Baruch Hu shum Rachmanis. She didn't feel any connection from Hashem, that Hashem has Rachmanis on us. Hein Rachmanis Gufnis. Sai, this kind of a compassion, physical compassion, a Mesiachis La'im, which is relevant to the mother. It's Mesiachis to the mother that has the physical Rachmanis. Hein Rachmanis Ben Yani Ruchnis, Ha Mesiachis La'av. Hester v'chashkas kazu she'ein royim shum nitzas or. We were in a matzav of darkness that you don't see any spark of light. V'dafka b'shazu. At that moment, in that matzav, Dafka from there, Lakcha Mordechai loy levas. Mordechai took her as a daughter. That shows us what happened, even in such a matzah. Mordechai HaTzadik took her to be a daughter. Uma asa Mordechai. So what did Mordechai do when he realized the Hester Panim that's happening, and he realized what's going on with Klal Yisrael? First thing that he did to start the redemption was, Vayizak, he screamed a bitter scream, this power from screaming, the bitter scream, that is what breaks through, shatters all of the walls that break us from our Father in heaven. Hazaka hazois, this shrai, this scream. Hayoitzis minavshay shel ish Yehudi, yoiser chazaka mikol koiches hara, miklipas amolik, miklipas haman. When we're in darkness and we scream out, Tati, help me. We scream out, I don't want to be this way. And we scream out bitter cries out to Hashem, that shatters the wall. That's more powerful than all of the koiches hara, all of the koiches of evil, of the klipa of Amalek and the klipa of Haman. Like it says in Tehillim, Tavei lefanecha enkas osir. Ha'osir hazeh kalu b'veis hasoyer. This person who's locked up, he's in jail, v'asar ba'azikim, and he's chained up, he's tied up with chains, ve'em biyadei v'kaychi la'asis klum, and therefore he can't do anything. A guy who's in jail and he's tied up, what could he do? But he has a very deep krechs, a moan, a groan. He calls out. And through that koyach of moaning and groaning, a person can be saved and he can be brought out from darkness into light. This is a scream that the malachim, the angels that are in charge of the tefillah, they don't understand this. Tefillah, sometimes they could say, no, he's not worthy, and they can make the tefillah go away. But a scream, moaning out, calling out from the depths of our hearts, calling out to Hashem and saying, I don't want to be here. Take me out of here. I want to be good. I want to be lechtig. I want to learn. I want to daven. That's something that the malachim, the angels, and the srafim, einam avinam oisam, they don't understand it. Uvaikas kol harikim, and it breaks through all of the skies, all of the levels. Umagas, and it goes up, and it reaches at kisei hakavod to Hashem Himself. Ha'anocha hazois, this moan, ein ish shomeya, nobody else hears it. Ulupamim miyotzis b'shah shekol kulei kfar meshuka b'vein mitzula, and sometimes it comes out. Sometimes you don't realize what's happening, and you don't realize it until you're mamish in quicksand. Your knees are down, and all of a sudden quicksand's up to your waist, up to your heart, it's up to your throat, gets up to here, and that's when you go crazy and you're calling up, you're saying, I'm drowning. Hashem, please save me. When she went to the church, that's like the worst possible moment of her life. If you're going there with the Shekhinah, okay, the Shekhinah is going with you. She feels abandoned completely. I'm all alone. I'm stuck on my own. For Amran, she says, Keli, Keli, lo ma'azaftani. Upirish adma bal beis Avram, schus yogan aleinu. The Beis Avram says, Keli koydem sheyechte, v'keli la'achtach sheyechte. There's two Kelis. Like Hashem, Hashem, Kel Racham Achanan, the same thing. There's Keli koydem achet. Before I sin, you're my Keli, you're my God. And after I sin, you're also my Keli. You're also my God. You're supposed to be with me always. Afilu bebeis atzlamim. Vafilu la'acha sheyechte. Tzoyek b'mar nafshe Keli Keli lamazavtani. Hatzaka hazois, this screaming, which he's going to teach us. That is the eschalta de geula. B'chol ha'matzavim, in any situation, lohitziyoi mish'ol va'avadon, to rescue us, to take us out from the depths and being lost forever. And that was the beginning of the Yeshua by Mordechai. The first thing he did was, he screamed. He screamed from the depths of his heart, representing Klal Yisrael. Save us. You're the only one that could save us. We can't save ourselves. We don't deserve it. Please save us. That is very powerful. We find that also. What happened? What was Moshe Rabbeinu's response? Ksiv. V'hiyadav emuna ad bay hashemesh. V'targmu v'hevi yidayi prisa b'tzilei. Kashiyara Moshe es yadei v'gava Yisrael. He lifted his arms. He raised the ability to connect to Hashem. His hands became emunah. So we're saying pshat is until it was like a conduit for emunah. He raised Gavar Yisrael. He lifted up Klal Yisrael that they can be miskaber. We find the same thing. We were in Mitzrayim. Mem teshari tuma. V'kasher vayizaku vayonchu batal shavasam alikim. Zayik faras chalta dugula. Zu haderach. This is the way. Avor aklal. For Klal Yisrael, when we go through a general gzeira on Klal Yisrael goes through difficulty, and this is the same thing v'haprat, same thing to every individual who finds himself b'matzav akosher b'yoser. A person, if you find yourself in a matzav akosher b'yoser, super duper difficult time, hester panim, you're not connecting to Hashem, things are not going well, you feel like you're in quicksand, you're drowning, you're being sucked under, it's a terrible matzav. This is the Eitzah. Ein davar she'oimid keneged hatza'aka. Nothing can stand in the way of screaming. Ach toli, but it depends. At kami higdoila, at kami himara. It says by Mordechai, by Yizak Zaka Gedola Umara. Yeah, the Zaka is taka powerful, but how much Gedola, how big is this Zaka, this scream, and how Mara, how bitter is it? When a Yid really screams out with bitterness of his soul, Keli, Keli, Lama Azaftani. My God, Koidim Sheyechta, Acha Sheyechta. You're still my God. Lama Zaftani. How come you're leaving me? When a Yid does that from the inside of his being, sometimes we're so cold we don't even get it. And then sometimes we realize, and it comes together, and we realize, what is happening to me? And a person, b'mar nafshay, from the bitterness of his soul, he screams out, Keli, Keli, lama zaftani. Va'ad, until he reaches the point where he says, Ana, tastir espanecha mimeni. Al tastir espanecha mimeni. Don't conceal your face from me. So niftachim lekol shari oira lihudam haisa oira. That's what opens up the shari oira, the doors of light. Like it says, v'layihudam haisa oira. For the Jewish people, it was oira. It was light. V'kriyas Parsha Zachar. The laning of Parsha Zachar. V'acha kach bepurim. Kriyas v'yavei Amalek v'megillas Esther. When we lay the v'yavei Amalek, and then we lay Megillas Esther. Hitzuras habituy l'za'aka hazois neged Amalek. This is an expression. It's showing us how we have to scream out keneged Amalek. Which Amalek? The Amalek that is shoichin b'liboy shaladam. The Amalek that's inside of us. The Amalek that somehow made its way inside of us. And we want to get rid of it. We want to fatrab it. We want to push it, yeah? We want to push it out of us. How do you get it out of you? That Amalek that is in each every one of us in any different way that it dresses up. It can dress up in all different types of ways and get us down in all different types of midas and all different types of averis. Someone who's zoicha to listen to these lanings that we have. Eitzel anybody that was zoicha to hear these lanings of these parshas of Parsha Zachar, the laning of Yavai Amalek and Megillas Esther by the Admar Baal Beis Avram, he heard us that the screams and the cries, Hirgish, those people who were lucky enough to be there, they felt as Goydel HaMashmoy Shel Kriyas Elu, how powerful, how important these kriyas, these lanings are. Kuderech Rabbeinu HaKadoshim Shelo Titachin Simcha Pnimis Ve'amitis Rak Im Kodma Lo Meriris Amitis. Like Rabbi Seinu, our teacher, said, you can't have true internal simcha, a real pneumistic internal joy, unless first you have a real internal bitterness. Ki amerirus, the bitterness, v'hatainug hanifla, hem trin rei and parshin. These are two friends that don't get separated. Merirus, the bitterness over amatzav, and then the tremendous tainug that comes afterwards. It's like a purification process, a healing process. Haschalas chayvus hayoyim, the beginning of the chayv of the day, the mitzvahs of the day. V'sidra shel yoyim mishta v'simcha hi amerius v'azaka agdoila hayoyitzim aliba shel Yehudi b'kriyas elu. Zu aderech l'kol prat. This is the way for every individual. Ba'asher hu, wherever he finds himself. Be'inyonav ameikim loy, with his things that are hurting him, that are bringing him down, sai physical, emotional, and psychological and spiritual. In all kinds of darkness and concealments. The ha-pesach and these lanings that we lane, that is the key to open up L'ftayach Shari Eira. And we're going to continue to find out how we have to put this into our avodas of Purim and how to leave here with something amazing.